Hello Australia, welcome back to the couch for 2018. Nice to have your company. I hope you had a great New Year, Christmas and everything else that you've been doing till March. It is of course the 18th of March today and we have got a big show, episode 610. Let me tell you who's on the show today. Australian legend of music Normie Rowe comes in to talk about his brand new musical that's coming up here in Perth on the 23rd of March. It is of course We Will Rock You. Nisha will talk to Normie very soon. Marnie Giroux has got a goat and more coming into the studio very soon. Possum Valley Animal Sanctuary, they're coming in, we'll talk to them. Lionheart Camp for Kids is a big thing, we're going to talk to those people too. We're also talking to a local director of a movie. His name is Sean Gonzalo. He's made a new movie called 10 The Sacrifice. We'll talk to him. And we've also got Mick McCoy. He's written a fantastic book. He's a local author going international. What the Light Reveals and more. We've got music as well with two young kids. One's Grace Perk and the other one is Sean Smith. They're going to be performing very soon. It is episode 610 and it starts next.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred. Showtime on the couch.
Welcome to 2018, Easter just around the corner, but we've got a big show coming up for the next hour and don't miss Normie Rowe's coming up very soon. Now to open the show today, young people is what we're all about here, giving young people a bit of a start in the industry and giving them a bit of experience so they can become like our good friend Normie Rowe that's coming up very soon. Grace Perks is one of those young people. She's walking on sunshine today. Hello Australia, welcome back to the couch for 2018. Nice to have your company. I hope you had a great New Year, Christmas and everything else that you've been doing till March. It is of course the 18th of March today and we have got a big show, episode 610. Let me tell you who's on the show today. Australian legend of music Normie Rowe comes in to talk about his brand new musical that's coming up here in Perth on the 23rd of March. It is of course We Will Rock You. Nisha will talk to Normie very soon. Marnie Giroux has got a goat and more coming into the studio very soon. Possum Valley Animal Sanctuary, they're coming in, we'll talk to them. Lionheart Camp for Kids is a big thing, we're going to talk to those people too. We're also talking to a local director of a movie. His name is Sean Gonzalo. He's made a new movie called 10 The Sacrifice. We'll talk to him. And we've also got Mick McCoy. He's written a fantastic book. He's a local author going international. What the Light Reveals and more. We've got music as well with two young kids. One's Grace Perk and the other one is Sean Smith. They're going to be performing very soon. It is episode 610 and it starts next.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred. Showtime on the couch.
Welcome to 2018, Easter just around the corner, but we've got a big show coming up for the next hour and don't miss Normie Rowe's coming up very soon. Now to open the show today, young people is what we're all about here, giving young people a bit of a start in the industry and giving them a bit of experience so they can become like our good friend Normie Rowe that's coming up very soon. Grace Perks is one of those young people. She's walking on sunshine today as she opens the first couch.
What a way to kick off 2018, to have the first and one of the biggest, and some would argue still the biggest, male solo artist in Australia.
Oh dear, that's a big mantle to carry.
You've had such an inspirational life beyond just your, not just, but performing and singing. You've also really endured a lot of, I guess, pinnacle moments in Australian history as well.
Yeah, it's been an interesting ride. Mind you, the nation has had amazing roller coaster over the last 60, 70 years, and to see the sort of innovations that have taken place, particularly in the last half century, has been astounding. I don't know what a 90 or 100-year-old person makes of kids walking around with their phones like this and bumping into everybody.
Yes.
I know what I'd like to make. I'd like to grab their phone and put it in the gutter. But it's quite amazing that you can sit in a park. And I was talking to Johnny Young's wife, who was Polish, and she could sit in a park with her phone and talk to her family in Poland. What?
It's created such
and the
opportunity
pictures are as clear as the stuff coming up on this program. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it must be amazing, like you said, upon reflection and thinking about how life has progressed, how people's behaviour has progressed.
Yeah, and you can't gain something without losing something anyway. And I think a lot of spontaneity has been lost, and I guess a lot of spontaneity has been gained too, because there's always a camera on somewhere.
Yes.
So I suppose you better watch your P's and Q's as soon as you get out of bed, and possibly even while you're there.
Now we're seeing some lovely footage of you
dear,
there
look
on
at
the
that.
screen. So phenomenal career. You've been around the world. You received an Order of Australia in the early 90s. You're very humble, so I need to mention that to the audience.
Oh, thank you.
And that is a really great recognition of all of your work and your involvement as
Yeah,
well.
it's a pretty amazing thing. But when I think of the extraordinary things that very, very perceptibly ordinary people do, it's fantastic to. I mean, it's great to have the Order of Australia, but when I see some of the things that people are unrecognised for, I'm quite humbled by that. I think it's an amazing thing.
It's a very respectful approach. You're very balanced in your approach. That's really admirable.
Well,
as
I think you really need to sort of weigh things up.
important. Yeah. So we are here today as well to talk about We Will Rock You. Okay, so that is happening in Perth. You're absolutely wearing the
Which
icon
camera
there.
Congrats. Here we go.
Now, it's presented by Platinum Entertainment WA by arrangement with David Spicer Productions.
Well done.
So,
There's
thank
the
you
plug.
very
That's out
much.
of the way,
Need to ensure
There you go,
that I get
Trevor.
that
You've
right.
got your plug. David, you've got yours.
Now, since 2002, another fact that I know is that this has played to millions and millions. I think over 16 million people in 28 countries.
And I'm not
It's
surprised.
phenomenal.
I'm not surprised at all. About 3 or 4 years ago, I was doing a concert at the Queensland Performing Arts Centre, and in the next theatre, which was a bigger theatre than ours, and we'd sold out, but goodness me, I don't know, they had 2,000 people there, and they made so much noise it was coming into the next theatre, the audience, because they just loved, we were and Bohemian Rhapsody and all those wonderful Queen pieces of music, the story is sort of. Ben Elton might be watching this, but the story is a little bit light on. But when you've got so much music to get into, you don't need a lot of deep, like 4 levels of
I'm sure you've
story.
done it justice. I'm sure you've done it justice.
But I'm having a great deal of fun because the character I play is, he's, I suppose, he's the oldest one of the Bohemians, and they're trying to get back to music because music has been. Basically, it's been press ganged, by the Global Soft organisation, and they own all the music and they make the music, and everybody is under its control as far as music is concerned. And of course, the Bohemians long for the early day when Queen ruled the world, and they were making real rock and roll music, as opposed to that, what do they call it, pop crap.
It's good to just say it how it is.
Digitise. It's. Hang on, I got to say this because it's a great line. He said, the character I've got. He says, Queen wanted to see a time when iPhones and Xboxes would be replaced, and computer-generated auto-tune pop, C-R-A-P.
You spelled it that time, that's good.
So they saw the time when it took over the world, and they wanted the kids to get back to rock and roll,
And you do have such a great cast in this
Oh,
show.
we
Tell us
do.
about, it's Perth-based, right? You've
Talking
got
about
talent.
getting back to rock and roll, yesterday afternoon I went down to Cunnington, the big park there, beautiful park we've got down at Cunnington, and just to watch the Murphy's Law with Courtney and Chris
Of
and
course,
their
from
brother
Australian
Kieran
Idol.
and the other two other guys in the band. Fabulous band, great anywhere in the world, not just Australia. And they did a whole set of Beatles songs, and they were just fabulous,
Amazing. And you've got,
And,
a
and
few-
there wasn't one bit of pre-recorded music anywhere, and the audience was just, they were bouncing off the grass. It was fabulous.
Oh, wow. And what's it like being back in Perth for you?
Look, I love the place, I've loved it since first time I came here. I was 17. Johnny Young was 17.
Oh, wow.
And he had a TV show on Channel 7 here called, what was it called, Club 17.
Okay.
So in the last couple of months, we've been able to reverse the 1 and the 7, both of us.
Happy birthday.
So we've known each other since, since
that's
that
lovely.
time back in 1965, and it was. It's just been a great pleasure every single time I come here. But this is the longest I've ever had a chance to stay. About 5 weeks, maybe 6 weeks now.
And it must be amazing seeing the young Perth talent and getting
Oh
to
my
know
God.
them and mentoring them, I imagine, a bit
Look,
too.
I'm awestruck by the talent across Australia, the skill, the training and education in the performing arts, and unlike the federal minister of education and training, Simon Birmingham, I believe that it's a fabulous vocation, and it's the only job I've really ever had. He said that the performing arts is not a vocation, it's a pastime. Well, if you saw the stars in the eyes of these kids, you wouldn't ever say that, and you would never ever try to cloak that in a wet blanket, because these kids are just so stunning in their ability. There's right across the whole board. There's pros, semi-pros, and then there's these kids who just, like 11 and 12-year-olds in this show who are just as good as kids, entertainers I've seen who are, in their 20s and 30s.
Phenomenal, because you do have a mix here. You've got, just having a quick look through, can't mention everyone, but, Dean Misdale.
Dean is fantastic. Feminem.
And Blake Williams,
He
our
is
Blake
so
Williams.
big, and he's extremely well trained. As a performing artist. Name some others.
Yeah,
Blake
sure.
Williams. You did say Blake
Right,
Williams,
yeah,
one
I
of
said
our
Blake
presenters.
Williams. Yeah, he's one of
many
our-
years.
Yes,
Yeah.
Blake is
One of our own.
fantastic, of course.
I'm looking at
Paula
Paula
Perori.
Perori. Yeah.
Yes, look, I've got to say
Got a
that
good cast.
there's not a
Ryan
not
Dawson.
there's not a poor,
You've got an
poor
amazing
performer
cast.
in the whole cast, and they're all working so hard to get it done.
Holly Denton.
Holly's great.
Yeah.
She's terrific.
From the Variety Youth
Look,
Choir.
just everybody's just is eye-boggling, mind-boggling, eye-opening, mind-boggling.
It sounds like it's going to be an exceptional show. It kicks off 23rd of March.
23rd of March, and
Right.
we've already extended the season up until the 7th of April
Wow,
for
okay.
an extra week.
Fantastic.
Okay, what a great
And
evening.
there are tickets still available
Okay.
here and there through the season. Some of the
Wonderful.
major days, are already sold out. But and 75, I think 75% of the tickets were sold before Christmas.
Wow, well that
pretty
is
amazing.
just, that's setting the trend. So you can still get tickets, you can see all the details on the screen there earlier, but we will rock you perth.com as well, I believe is the address, .au as well. So just ensure that you get in there quick, because if 75% were sold, I can only imagine that these tickets are going to go very quickly as well.
And if you want a good seat, I'd be ringing today.
Yeah, wonderful. Now,
Well done.
Normie, there is so much else that I would ask you, and we've only got such a short time. But look, is there anything else that you'd like to say to the audience about the show? And
Well, all I can say is, at the risk of being claimed another #MeToo, I would sit on a couch with you any time.
oh no, my goodness! Thank you very much. It's been such a
Fantastic.
pleasure.
Great,
Thank you
thanks.
so much, and we look
Thanks,
forward to
Lisa.
having you on the couch. Hopefully again, if you
And
know.
thank to your colleague over here, Freddie.
Well, I'm going to say thank you to you as well, Normie.
Ah.
You've got a brand new album. Tell us about this album. It's called Straight to the Heart.
Okay,
People can
so
get this.
what we've done with Straight to the Heart of Tape, we've taken a lot of what I call pop standards,
see on screen.
and they are, you know, things that are well known already. If you played it as a playlist, you'd like it in your car and sing along with people, like songs like Truly and Hello from Lionel Richie.
Even the nights are
Even the Nights Are Better from Air
Just
Supply.
the way you are.
Just the Way You Are, Billy Joel.
Let me give
Elton
you another
John,
one.
your
Truly,
song.
No More Lonely Nights.
Paul
Sometimes
McCartney.
when we
Yes,
touch.
Dan Hill.
And there's a couple more I love. Lately, your song, I Just Called to Say I Love You.
Yes,
I
yeah,
love
this-
that song.
Normie, this is an amazing album too, and it's out now, so people
Yes,
can
it
get that
is.
as well. Where can they get it from?
From
All good record
Aztec
stores?
Music.
Yep.
You'll just look it up on the internet, Aztec Music and normierowe.com.
You know, you are a legend. I wanted to ask you about your television side of things. I know you did Sons and Daughters for a while. Do you look back on Sons and Daughters and still laugh? Or
No,
do
I
you
look
think
back
you
and
could have been
still
Alf?
cringe, I got to tell you.
You could have been Alf. You could still be there.
I tell you, but very briefly, and we're being wound up crazily here.
I know,
by the
but
way,
we'll just ignore
But
We'll cut
I
somebody
spent my 18 months on Sons and Daughters with the most beautiful Abigail,
Yes.
and she saved my television life, to be quite frank, because she took me aside and said, "You're having trouble with this," and I said, "Yeah, I want to get out of it. It's driving me crazy." And she said, "Look, and
Stick with it.
come here. I'm going to teach you how to do this." And in one day, she solved all my problems.
Would
She
you
was-
like to do
she
TV
was
again?
fantastic.
A TV series like Neighbours or something like that? Do you think your music's
No.
where you want to be?
No, leave it to the young people.
Maybe radio. You come and work with me at 6PR.
Yeah, I can
Do a
do
bit of
radio.
talk
Yeah, I'll come
You've been
and
a
do that.
fantastic talent to have here. You're going to perform for us very soon. What's the song you're performing for us?
It's from the show We Will Rock You. It's the one that my character does. My character is sort of the light comedy relief person, you know.
Still got it in you.
And he reminisces with this song called
Beautiful.
Those Were the Days of Our Lives.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing you in We Will Rock You starting 23rd of March. It is His Majesty's Theatre. I'm going to be there on opening night. Thank you very much for coming to Perth and doing this for all of our West Australian
If I don't
community.
see you before, I'll see you on opening night.
Love to see you then. I look forward to you performing. Thank you to
Thanks
Nisha
very
as well. You've done
Thank
a
you,
great
everyone.
job once again. Now, if you would like to have the opportunity to come along as well, we've got 2 tickets to give away for Thursday, the 5th of April. Now, if you would like to win those tickets, the code word, this is how it's going to work. You send an SMS, the code word there on screen is called Queen. How perfect. Queen, Queen. 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 Have I got that right? Say it again. Have I got it right? No. Queen. Queen. How could I get the Queen wrong? Queen. We Will Rock You. Now, I've done that much of a plug, you can't get it wrong. 0439 929 929. The SMS is on the screen, the number. Send your name and address, and if you're the lucky person we pull out tonight, you will go and see We Will Rock You here in Perth. Now, as we promised, Normie's centre stage. He's ready to perform live, folks. Live at this time of the day. Here he is, Normie Rowe.
Sometimes I get to thinking I was back in the old days, long ago, when we was kids, when we was young. Things seemed so perfect then, you know. The days were endless, we were crazy, we were young.
sun was always shining, we just lived for fun. Sometimes it seems like lately, I don't know, the rest of my life been just a show. 'Cause those were the days of our lives. The bad things in life were so few. Those days were all gone now, but some things remain. When I look and I find no change, you can't turn back the clock, you can't turn back the time. Ain't that a shame? I'd like to go back one time on a roller coaster ride, when life was just a game. No use in sitting back and thinking what you did. You can lay back and enjoy it for the kids. Sometimes it seems like lately, I don't know, might as well sit back and go with the flow. 'Cause those were the days of our lives. They passed with the swiftness of time. Those days are all gone now, but some things remain. When I look and I find hope still survives. Oh yeah.
Well done, Normie Rowe. That is, of course, centre stage live on the show today, but you can catch him on the 23rd of March at We Will Rock You. Check out the website. You'll get your tickets if you haven't won them here on the show. And we loved having him on the show today. We've got more of the couch. We've got a lamb. Is it a lamb? No, a goat. We've got a goat coming in to talk, following, of course, from Normie. The goat. There you go. Coming up next on the couch. Stay tuned. Well, welcome back to the couch on Foxtel. Thanks for your company. This is our first show if you've just joined us. If you're looking at the TV and saying, gee, Fred looks slimmer, you're wrong. You've got something wrong with your TV. I've been away 4 months and actually the clothes still fit quite comfortably. So I think I've done pretty well. I hope you had a great holiday too. Now, someone that's been away a very long time is our next guest, of course, presenter, Marnie Giroux, who does Wild Things. It's nice to have you back, Marnie. You've got a goat with you today. Welcome back.
Hi everyone and welcome to Wild Things. Possum Valley Animal Sanctuary is located in Mount Helena, Western Australia. The sanctuary is a not-for-profit association and it aims to prevent and relieve suffering of native animals as well as farm animals. Joining me today are Chris and Mark from the amazing sanctuary, and we've got a special guest. Hi guys, welcome to the show.
Hi, Nan.
Tell us a little bit about our special guest who is right here in the centre of us all.
This is Miss Nellie. She's almost 2 and she's just recently joined the sanctuary last month when one of our volunteers did an epic 3,500 K trip to Tom Price. So
Wow.
Nellie was found abandoned at a property. The people had raised her, but with a mining boom dropping, they've gone back to Perth and not taken her with them. So she was fending for herself up there.
Wow.
And a really kind lady stepped in and said, you know what, she needs a hand. They gave her temporary accommodation because she was being a little bit abused by the locals. She was the local toy and she wasn't having a good time in Tom Price. So
Right.
we're lucky one of the volleys got a van and did the big trip and got her back to Perth. And she's been settling in. She's been in quarantine and just this week she's out of quarantine to meet her goat friend. So
Oh,
she's quite excited to come to the studio.
Oh, yeah, she's done very well so far. She hasn't chewed any cords or anything, which is fantastic. That's an incredible journey to pick Nellie up from all the way up north. What an amazing thing. Was that one of your volunteers?
Yeah, we're very lucky. We have a group of really dedicated people that do help us run the sanctuary. We've got over 150 animals to take care of, and rescues, in addition to looking after those residents, is a big job. So we had a pair that took a van and camped all the way and
Nellie had a good trip in a tent on the way home. So
She even
seen
had a
them-
tent.
Yeah.
Wow, glamping. That's excellent. Now, guys, tell us a little bit about the animals that come through the sanctuary each year and where they're coming from. We've heard about Nellie's story, but who else finds their way to you?
It's getting busier. Each year we find we do get a lot more animals, from sheep through to donkeys to possums, native birds. We try and help rehome or re-release native animals as well. A lot of the farm animals have been mistreated or neglected or orphaned. A whole range of reasons. We get the odd one like Nellie that's been mistreated or left. Other ones, farmers haven't been able to look after them, financial strain, divorces. So there's a whole facet of reasons why they'll come. And the native animals, of course, are just called through as needing a hand. And most of those, we're lucky we can get them back to the wild.
Yeah, fantastic. So at least those guys have a second chance out in the wild. Wonderful. Now, I've been hearing a lot about goat yoga. Yes, goat yoga, everybody. Now, tell us about this. This is incredible. We do have some photos to pop up as well. So what is goat yoga?
Goat yoga is literally just that. It is yoga with goats.
Wow.
We saw it first in America and we thought, well, that looks a really enjoyable, simple concept, and we're always on the lookout for new ways to do fundraising ideas and ways we can raise awareness of and allow people to interact with animals they might not necessarily get to in their day-to-day lives.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So-
We're seeing a couple of pictures. Oh, look at this. Somebody's having a close encounter there. Fantastic. So the goat sort of
Dasher.
sits with the person
Yeah,
and does the yoga poses, do they?
we basically just hold yoga in the paddock and the goats are free to come around and mingle and interact with people as they like. They often steal people's yoga mats like young Dasher there.
Eat them. Eat the yoga mats.
Sometimes do, yes. They chew on things they shouldn't do. And we're just hoping that through Goat Yoga, not only can we raise some much needed funds to help our vet and our feed bills, but also allow people an opportunity to interact with these animals. Maybe have a start to think about how they really are no different to dogs with hooves. Then maybe they can start to have a think about how their lifestyle and their dietary choices can so profoundly affect animals they might not normally consider to be a pet or that would consider a farmed animal.
Like Nellie, for instance.
Yeah, so they're more than a meal on a plate. They're more than a clothing range. They're an individual in their own right.
Amazing. So goat yoga, has it been really popular if you had a lot of people turning up?
It has proven very popular. We
Wow.
get such a huge range of people from right across the state. People come from quite long distances to travel and come and see us as well.
That's so cool.
People of a range of fitnesses and also a range of familiarity with yoga. Some people come for the yoga, some people just come to lay down and play with goats.
I love it.
There's always something for everyone.
I think that's a crew thing that we need to do, everybody here. Like, I think you might be seeing all of us up there very soon.
Very good. Yeah.
Now, apart from goat yoga, which we hear is amazing and is helping the sanctuary, how else can people help the sanctuary?
There's a number of ways you can help out. One's obviously coming to our events like Goat Yoga. We're doing a wine and cheese fundraiser shortly, which is our major event for the year.
Sounds nice.
That's awesome. It's all cruelty-free wines and cheeses and foods because wine and cheese is something that a lot of people who seek to exclude animal products can struggle with,
Yes.
particularly cheese. So we're able to put on a huge range of different specialty cheeses that are non-dairy for people to try and get more familiar with those sorts of products. Try things out and go search for them in your stores. So that's awesome.
Great.
And also, it's a great social event in itself. We usually get about 200 people that would come and
Wow.
attend.
Amazing.
And live entertainment, and it's a really nice night. So that's our major fundraiser for the year.
Yep.
Other than that, we do sponsorships. We sell certain merchandise through our Facebook page and our shop. We can accept donations, obviously, which are all tax. Any donation over $2 is tax deductible.
Fantastic.
And
And can people
Yeah.
volunteer with you as well to help the animals? To
We're always after
Yes.
volunteers. We love to have our volunteers. And they don't just have to scoop poop. They can
Okay.
also help fundraise, run our shop, go to events, and
drive goats around.
totally. Yeah.
Excellent. I think that's an awesome job. I would love that job. Oh, guys, thank you so much for coming on today. Thank you for bringing Nellie on, and it's amazing the work that you do. So good luck for the rest of the year. Thanks
you
for
for
coming
having
on.
us.
Thank
no
you, Maddie.
worries. Guys, if you would like more information about Possum Valley Animal Sanctuary and you'd like to help, check out our website at www.thecouch.com.au. Thanks, everyone. See you next time. Back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Marnie. I've never thought of having yogurt with goats, but I will try it very, very soon. It was yogurt, wasn't it? Oh, yoga. Oh, okay. Something completely different. No, it's nice to have Marnie back, and we hope to see you in a couple of weeks, Marnie. Now it's time to talk about another fantastic organisation that is doing amazing work. We're going to talk to Nisha. She's got the people from Lionheart here. Over you, Nisha.
Thank you, Fred. A great part of the couch, and being a part of the couch is getting to meet individuals that do such inspirational work, not only in their normal lives we were talking about before, but for not-for-profit organisations too. So I have both Shelley and Amanda on the couch from Lionheart, very meaningful not-for-profit organisation. Shelley, share the amazing story around how Lionheart was created and what purpose it serves in the community as well.
Thank you. So I work in the health industry, and colleagues and I work in palliative care and people with terminal illness. And we were very aware that if a Western Australian is to die from a cancer diagnosis, that there is some support for them out in the community, and that's fantastic. But what we really struggled with was when people were dying from a non-cancer diagnosis, and they would say to us, who's going to help my wife look after my children, or who's going to help them work out how they're going to deal with this? And we would have to say, I don't know. And so we got to the point where we were a little tired of saying that. And we thought we can either do something about it, or we can keep whining about it. And we decided that we would do something about it. And we started running some programs under the umbrella of Silver Chain for some time. And there were 2-day programs for children. And then after that, we decided that we would like to expand those services and decided to go out and start Lionheart Camp for Kids. We were really fortunate to be offered to go under the umbrella of a couple of different organisations at that time, but we feel really passionately about making sure that the service is for all West Australians, and it doesn't matter how somebody dies, that all families are eligible to participate.
That's wonderful, and I think what we heard there that's really key as well is that there are a lot of services that are centred around cancer, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
However, there is this requirement for support and coping strategies for both children and for parents as well. So tell us a little bit about the camp in terms of there's a 2-day program, but how do you split and how helpful is it, I guess, to have also the children in a separate 2-day and the parents in a separate 2-day?
Yeah, so we run the 2-day camps, they're day camps, and we work with 5 to 12-year-old children, and we do some fabulous group work with them, and lots of peer support and teaching them about emotional language and lots of coping skills and life skills. And but I really think that the benefit from that children's program wouldn't be anywhere near as great if we didn't run simultaneously an adult program. So we run, at the same time we run the children's program, we run a 2-day program for the adults that support the children. And we teach them what we taught the children. And we teach them developmentally appropriate responses to grief, and we try to make sure that they're as well equipped as they can be to manage their own grief whilst helping their children manage theirs.
Wonderful, because so often the mother's requirement or father's requirement gets left, I guess, as a last step. We're very fortunate to have Amanda join us on the couch today, and you've done a bit of work and also been involved with Lionheart. Tell us a bit about your experience.
Yeah, I found Lionheart through my children's school last year. It's 12 months since they lost their dad in a car accident. I've since learned the statistics on children losing a parent, and it's 1 in 20 will lose a parent up until the age of 16. And I took my children along to Lionheart Camp, and I'm still convinced that I got more out of it than they did. It was absolutely incredible to connect with other parents. I was not the only one going through this. My children had a ball, they had a lot of fun, and they continue to have fun on the Lionheart days that are organised. Just to learn the differences in how they will grieve. I don't think there's really any limit on grief. It's very difficult to navigate at times, but to also learn different stages for the age. So what my 4-year-old would understand is not anything to what my 8-year-old would understand. And so it has been a very harrowing year. Around the age of 5, they learn the permanence of death, and we are just going through that now. But to know that Lionheart is there as support for me to be able to deal with the day-to-day ongoing things with my children, and to know that there's some really fun activities ahead. It's been amazing, and there isn't anything else in the community. There is nothing else that compares. So we're they desperately need support, and I'll do whatever I can. And I hope a lot of other people get on board as well, because it's not a fun journey, not a fun journey at all. And nobody really understands that shatter zone until they're in it. It is difficult. So very fortunate to have Lionheart. Very, very fortunate to have Lionheart.
Amanda, you're a courageous lady, and being able to come and share your story and your journey is, must be extremely difficult.
It is difficult, but we definitely need a voice for the other children, for the other families, the other parents dealing with this. It's not something you'd wish on anybody. It's not a club that you ever want to belong to. But you make what you can from it. And to have support around you when you are in that shadow zone, to have the support behind you is absolutely priceless.
You mentioned earlier that you are an eternal optimist, and your kids are extremely fortunate, for you to be there supporting them. And Lionheart is an amazing organisation that needs more support from our government, from other private organisations, whether it's donations, whether it's volunteering your time. How can people get involved?
Yeah, so we would love people to check out our website or contact us through Facebook or via phone. And we're just so grateful to organisations that...
on the screen there we can see.
Lovely. Even organisations that aren't able to donate money. We have FireTech is holding a one-day Making Drones and Robots Day for us this school holidays. And we've got a Nurture the Goddess Within with Intention Nurture coming up in a few months. So,
wonderful.
If you have some time or some interest in this field, please let us know, because we'd love to. We'd love more people to be on board.
Wonderful. Well, Shelley, Amanda, thank you so much for joining us on the couch. Now you're couch family, couch friends, so we hope to have you back to talk more about what's coming up. You're both amazing, inspirational women, allied health professionals, nurse, social work. It's amazing, and then on top of this, it's like a super cape. You've got this extra work you do. So, thank you. Very inspirational. The website is obviously on thecouch.com.au, our Facebook page as well, if you've missed any of those details. But ladies, keep up the great work, and we'll look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you
so
very
much. Thank you.
Back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Nisha. And I do also like to say thank you to Amanda. Very courageous. I'm amazed 12 months is not a very long time, but I know you would be an inspiration to other people going through the same, problem in their lives. And, hats off to you. Well done. And Shelley, can I just ask you just quickly again, that camp that's coming up in April, can people get involved with that one, or is it too late?
No, we have a couple of spots left,
Yep.
but we do also have our next program in August. So
if they miss out in April,
Yep.
they can still be part of the August one.
absolutely.
And is there a cost for these camps?
No, it's free.
Absolutely free. So if you want some help, get on board now. Go to their website. Thank you very much to all three of the ladies here too. Nisha, thank you very much. There you go. A fantastic organisation, Lionheart. We'll have them back on the couch, I'm sure, very many times. We're going to take a quick break, come back and talk to another fantastic local legend. He's a director of a new movie called 10. We'll talk to him next. Well done. Welcome back to the couch. Thanks for your company on our first show back for this year. Now, it's time to promote a local director who's made a fantastic movie. It's called 10, and it's actually called 10 the Sacrifice. And he's with us today, and he's also got one of the lead actors in the movie. But we'll have a look at the trailer, and then we'll come back and talk to them. Very interesting movie. I hope you enjoyed that one because we're going to talk to the director and one of the lead actors now. Thank you for coming in today. We've got Sean Gonzalvo.
Yes.
I pronounced that
Yeah,
correctly. Wonderful.
beautifully. Thank
And
you.
we've got Frances Wally. Thank you very much for coming in today, Frances.
No problem.
First of all, let me ask you, tell me what the movie's about.
So it's about, the story is based around a character called Sammy, who's played by Holly Edward-Smith. She lost her parents in a car accident, so she kind of wants to rekindle her passion for video blogging again. So she gets into that and catches up with some of her friends, and then we all go camping, and it kind of evolves into something bigger, and they kind of didn't expect
So how did
it.
you come up with the plot?
Yes, so I had some main inspiration. I'm quite a horror movie buff. My main inspiration came from all those kind of documentary styled and all that kind of stuff, and I wanted to create something quite simple. Something
And
that was...
what's your background, Sean?
So I've done acting. I've been in a few things acting-wise, and I just wanted to create something that was, as I said, simple and create a platform for other actors.
Now, I know you're only 24, so people are looking at this interview saying, I want to be a director as well. Is it a hard thing to just become a director, or do you think you have to have some abilities?
There's a lot of hard work. So I've been in some films doing a lot of assistant directing and all that kind of stuff, and it's a lot of hard work. So if I would give any advice to people out there who wants to become a director, just work hard, don't ever give up, because there's moments in this kind of process where you want to give up, and just focus. Just focus on what you want to do and just do it, because...
Where was the film recorded and when?
So the main area that we recorded in was in Caribouta, City of Wanneroo, and we started in September last year.
So how long did it take to actually make the film?
About, 3 to 4 months. So we finished in about January this year.
And
mainly.
have you been inspired to make more movies, or has it really, cost a lot for you?
Yeah, you're definitely going to make more movies. I've got a few plans of doing other things this year, so it hasn't kind of pushed me out of the way just yet, but yeah.
Well, let's talk about Frances Wally. Frances, what do you play in the movie? Who do you play?
So I'm one of the main characters in the movie. I play a character based on myself but dramatized. So the paranoid part of me, that
So how exciting was it for you to be cast in this role?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting because I wasn't originally cast in it. I was placed in it. I was the last person to be cast, so I was coming in not knowing anyone, but luckily I was playing a bit of myself, so I just pretty much amped that up and dramatized it.
What did you get out of doing the movie? If you had to give other people a little bit of a critique about what it's like to be an actor and working on a movie set, what did you think?
You get a lot of... You become very exposed to other people. So if you're someone like me who's shy and keeps a lot to yourself, you're very out there, and you're out there with a lot of other people too. So it's a good learning experience. I think.
What was the hardest thing about doing the movie? Did anything happen to you? That you could tell us?
I think there wasn't. I didn't really find anything that hard. It was hard to...
So it's easy being an actor.
No, it's not easy.
I want to be an actor.
It was hard to really get into the zone of being the character, but Sean has warm-ups that we do, and...
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. Yeah.
And is this what you would like to do, both of you, for the future? You want to be a director? I know you've done some acting, and what about you, Frances? Is this where you want to be?
I don't know. Probably. If there was opportunities that came up, I would definitely take them.
And Frances, your background, I mean, how old are you now?
I'm 24.
You're 24
Yep.
as well. So are you working in that field, or are you doing something completely
No,
different?
I'm not working in that field. I used to be very artistic and all into that, but I kind of got into the full-time work grind.
As we all do the
Yeah,
realities.
so it was good to get back into that type of...
Thank you very much, Frances. We wish you well, and if you give us a reason why we need to watch your performance.
You need to watch my performance because...
Are you going to do anything scary? Are you?
I can't tell you that. I can't give away too much.
Are you a horrible person?
I'm not a horrible person. I'm a lovely person.
I won't watch
Lovable.
it.
She's lovable.
She's lovable.
Yeah,
and she doesn't murder anyone.
I don't know.
She won't tell us anything, folks. You're going to have to watch the movie. Talking about watching the movie, where can we watch it?
So we're premiering it at Hoyt's Carousel, and the date will be in September. 15th.
September
Yeah,
this year?
Yeah.
So hold the press. September, you need to let us know when you know, and then we'll put it out there.
Yeah, so the 15th
And
of September.
15th
Yeah.
of September, is it? Exactly. And that's at Hoyt's. So when can people get tickets?
So we'll be putting tickets out in the next couple of months. Yeah.
And what's your next project?
So our next project, I've got a short film that I'm currently finishing. We just recently just casted it. It's called Her. You can find that on Facebook as well.
And for people who want to get into movies, what do you think the first start should be?
Just sit down, create a story, and start writing.
And where do they get funding? Did you get any funding from Screen West or anyone?
So I was unlucky I didn't meet the cut-off date, so I funded everything on my own. And that's another thing that if you want to get into this seriously, that's something you have to consider.
Make sure you've got another
100%.
job or some savings or some help.
Yeah.
Well done. Well, congratulations. We look forward to watching 10 The Sacrifice on the date again in September?
So 15th of September.
15th September, Hoyt's Carousel. Look forward to it. These are the two people behind it, well, one of the people behind it, of course, the director, Sean, and thank you very much for coming in as
No
well.
problem. Thank you for having
And Frances is one of the lead actors. She won't tell us if she's a baddie or good. You have to watch it. We're going to take a quick break. We've got a fantastic local author coming up. It's all about local today. See you after the break. Well done. Thanks. Having a very good read of this great book by an Australian author who we're going to talk to next. His name is Mick McCoy. He's from Victoria, but he's here in Perth in our studio today. Mick, thank you for coming in today.
Thanks for having me, Fred.
And thank you for writing this amazing book.
Oh, indeed, it was a pleasure.
Now, it's a very thick book, so it's going to take me a bit longer than this segment.
Yes.
But tell me what it's all about. It's called What the Light Reveals.
It's called What the Light Reveals. It begins following the real life of my uncle, Dave Morris. He's called Conrad Murphy in the book. But in the mid-50s, we had an espionage royal commission that was caused by Petrov defecting, and my uncle was accused of passing secrets to the Russians.
Sort of a spy.
Well, that was the accusation.
And this is a true story.
So that part of it's true, yeah. He had 2 visits to the Espionage Royal Commission where they asked him a range of questions, but he was just an idealistic communist. He happened to be an engineer in the Second World War, so he was involved in tank design, and they thought that gave him valuable information, and given that he was a communist as well, they kind of put 2 and 2 together and came up with 5.
So does the book follow that theme throughout the whole book?
No, it doesn't. So what happened in real life is my uncle found it very difficult to get work. He was sacked from the job he held, and from every job
what
that
job
he got.
did he hold? If he wasn't a spy.
He worked for the SEC as an engineer.
Okay.
And he didn't last long after appearing before the Espionage Royal Commission.
As your reputation would have been gone.
Well, but also ASIO were penning letters and Menzies was signing them.
I'm amazed they didn't employ him.
And every time we got a job, a letter would arrive to the new employer saying that my Uncle Dave was a security threat, and he got the sack. So ultimately, after a few years of that, he had no livelihood here, so he took his family and they went to live in Moscow. And that's real life as well, and that's in the book. But once they get to Moscow, it starts to become much more fictionalised.
Now tell me about, you've written 3 books. Tell me a little bit about you as an author. What got you into it?
Gee, I mean, I found an interest or a joy actually in putting words together in a previous life when I was in fact studying a master's and a PhD in exercise physiology. And I just liked the idea of constructing sentences and paragraphs that told a story, even though in those cases very different from fiction. I enrolled in an RMIT professional writing and editing course. And the first book called Burning Sunday came out of that, and that was released in 1999.
And what was that about?
Again, it was a bit about family, but closer to home and totally fictionalised. My mum didn't really enjoy reading about a fictionalised version of herself, but it was quite successful. It got shortlisted for a few literary prizes. Second one came out 2 years later. That one was called Cutting Through Skin, and that was not based on my family.
And can I ask, with a book like this, obviously at the moment it's quite topical with the Russian spy issues and the UK as well, but did you have to get clearance from anyone before you could write all this sort of stuff?
I told my cousin, so my aunt and uncle have both passed on, I told my cousin that I was going to write a story, a fictionalised account of his life, and how did he feel about that? He was fine. He found it challenging reading some drafts, And oftentimes he would sort of correct me on factual things. I said, no, it's not meant to be true.
Amazing. Now, so you're not going to expect a letter in the mail from the Attorney General or
No, I
ASIO?
wouldn't, no.
Not this time around. Where can we get the book?
All good bookstores, Dymocks, for example.
And
you can
Booktopia as
get
well?
Booktopia, Angus and Robertson online. They're the places that you can normally buy a book.
Now, who would you recommend the book would suit? Who would it be perfect for?
It's a page turner. It's great for people in book clubs. They tend to like something they can get their teeth into. But a lot of my friends, my male friends that don't read, males often read just non-fiction. They've loved it. So
fantastic.
Cross-section.
Well, the book's called What the Light Reveals. I've got one here. I've got 5 to give away. I'll give those out on the website. Check out our website. Thank you, Mick, for coming to Perth, and thank you for being here to promote the book as well.
Thanks, Fred.
And good luck with
Pleasure.
a very interesting book. Don't miss it. It's one that you won't be able to put down. And I think everyone will love it. It's a good read. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching our show today, Australia. Thank you for joining us for our first show back. That is it. I'm right out of time. Sonia's telling me, wrap it up, go away, goodbye. And I'll leave you Sean Smith, Young Boy, singing I'm Still Standing. See you next week, 6:11. Bye-bye.